What's going on, guys? It's Greg from HZRDUS and welcome to another head review. Today we're looking at the True HZRDUS. So this is the newest offensive head from True. It costs 89 bucks and the weight is 4.9 ounces. It was 4.8 and change, which is a really great weight. And this is a really nice offensive head offering from them. So I got it strung up here in Towson colors. They are a sponsor at Towson with us. We're gonna do the mesh, they're gonna do sticks and pads. So you'll see more of this stuff in the gear bag. We recently took a look at the True Vector. And so I would say that the True Vector is more of an attackman stick. It's a little lighter and a little less stiff. So looking at the True HZRDUS, this is a head that I actually really like. True has always been known for having good composite shafts, but their heads have been steadily improving. They started out not great. I think even True would admit that, but they've been learning. It's a big learning curve to start making heads. And now I think they're at a point where they've got a couple really good heads that are being used at the college level. So looking at the HZRDUS, one thing that I really like as far as the looks is the cutouts in the sides. So you see here, it's really wide and open and the struts are very thin in this direction, which I think looks really cool. And then you look at the front and they're actually very wide. So they're wide but thin, which makes it look very open and airy from the side. But then from the front, it looks pretty chunky and is actually really stiff because that width is giving you rigidity in this direction. So I think that was a smart move, and for its weight, it's a pretty stiff head. Looking up at the scoop, this is the one place that I would have a little bit of a complaint about. I think it's pretty angular and pretty sharp. This is a very straight, flat surface, and this is pretty sharp. I think you would have liked to have seen a little more roundness. Looking at like SCX with their speed scoop is really the standard for scoops in lacrosse now. And then they're kind of lacking string protection on this back face. It just cuts right here and the strings are pretty exposed. So I think that these are some things that they'll improve over time. And then the face shape is probably one of my favorite things. It reminds me of the Rabel 2X, where it's a little wider down at the bottom, but has a nice high pinch and flare. So this is gonna be really good for midfielders who like to shoot on the run. Combined with that stiffness and the weight makes it a really good all-around offensive head offering. Looking at the throat, they've got an interesting little black jewel here, 5 stripes. I honestly couldn't figure out what the significance of the 5 stripes is. The name being HZRDUS, that was obviously a little bit of a long word, so they abbreviated to HZRDUS. Not my favorite, but I think it could catch on. And overall, it's just a good looking head, a lot of angles. And I really like what they did here. It's simple styling, which I think is smart for them to keep it simple for now and start to build that head brand. Looking at stringing the pocket, they have 21 string holes, which is great. I thought that the top ones were a good size, maybe just a touch undersized compared to some competitors, but was still able to loop 2 strings through. And then the bottom ones were a good size, really tight to squeeze 2 of our white strings through, but I was able to get them through, and that's all that matters. Distribution was good. Sizing, shape was all nice. 21 is a good number of string holes. Bottom holes were good. And like I said, a lot of how the pocket strings up is going to go into that face shape, which I really liked. So you see here we've got a great mid pocket. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple Towson guys asked for this exactly. I did a little bit of different stuff with the stacked SI there. It's going to push that pocket up a little bit. Got a stacked nylon and a shooter. So overall, this is just an all-around, straight down the middle, good head. I don't think anyone's going to tell you it's the best head they've ever played with, but it's absolutely going to work on the field. And this combination of stiffness and weight at 4.9 ounces, but still pretty stiff, is going to mean that it's great for midfielders, but also attackmen, and some LSM players might get into this who like that more pinched look and feel. So I think this is a really great improvement from True. I think that this will be the foundation that they can start to build their head brand on, kind of like Maverick did with the Optic, where they had struggled for 5 or so years and then came up with the Optic that started to build their brand in heads. I think that this, combined with the Vector, could be what starts to do that for True Temper. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. We're going to be taking a look at pretty much all the heads we can this season, as well as gloves and footwear. So if there's something else you guys want us to review, leave it down in the comments. We'll try and get to it. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.